Assalamualaikum. Let's go for part 2 for chapter 1. In this part, we will learn about the production possibility curve, the short form is PPC. PPC is a graphical illustration to explain the basic economic concept of scarcity, choices, and opportunity cost. We have learned before. We have 3 basic economic concepts, and this concept can best explain through PPC as illustration. So what is the definition? It is the various possible combination of goods and services produced with a specific time with a given technology and resources. So first of all, before we learn about PPC, we need to do some assumption. Okay, andaian. Ekonomi macam tu sebab we are learning about theory. In real life, theory does not hold. Sometimes there's other factors that can change theory. So to be able to understand theory much better, we need to make assumption. And the first assumption is we assume that every country with the available resources that they have, she's a land labor capital entrepreneur, they will only produce 2 products. If fikir logik, this one is not logical lah, right? So look at sekeliling you saja, you have plenty of finished goods and services, bukan 2 saja, tapi we will assume like that. Okay, and the second one is the resources in the country, we will assume it as to be as fixed, maksudnya tetap jumlah resource yang ada. Okay, take for example natural resources, yang tu as time goes by, if you use, you will orang kata deplete. For example, petroleum, coal, arang batu, semua tu. While for labor keep changing, right? Kalau ada kelahiran baru, labor bertambah. Kalau ada kematian, labor akan berkurang. So basically labor is not fixed also. Every year, every month is changing. And if you have the foreign labor from Indonesia, from Bangladesh, so the amount of labor will start to increase. So, but to learn about PPC, we will assume that the resources are fixed. All resources, all the 4 resources, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Next is, we will assume the technology used to produce something is also fixed. So logiknya teknologi is always changing. It will never be fixed. Hari ni you kata my handphone is the most advanced handphone, tapi esok dah keluar versi yang lagi advanced. So basically kita tak akan terkejar dengan teknologi. The technology will keep changing. Okay, tapi untuk learn about PPC, we will assume that technology is fixed, unchanged. And the last assumption is economy is at full employment, meaning that efficiency. If we have land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, we are using it efficiently. Okay, because we know that the resources land, labor, capital, entrepreneur will be used to produce goods and services to fulfill the humans' wants, isn't it? For example, hasilkan goreng pisang, hasilkan meja. So everything yang humans want, say you ada keliling you ni, adalah dia hasilkan dengan kombinasi of the usage of land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. But sometimes it's overused ataupun underused. For example, you can see in the case of a developing country, for example Indonesia lah, the population is very big. Dia ada berjuta, puluh juta, ratus juta ke? I think 10 juta kot. Populasi dia. So meaning that dia ada sangat ramai labor, tapi they unable to provide job opportunity to the people there. That's why the people in Indonesia berhijrah ke negara luar untuk mencari pekerjaan, termasuklah Malaysia. So itu yang kita maksudkan sebagai tak efficient. We should basically use the resource we have sebaik mungkin. Kita ada banyak tu labor, kita cuba bagi pekerjaan kepada mereka supaya mereka boleh mendatangkan faedah pada ekonomi. But it is not the case of all country. Basically ada country yang underutilized, overutilized, yang tak cukup. So it's not full employment. To construct a PPC, we assume that the economy is operating at full employment, meaning that the resources we have dalam labor capital entrepreneur, we are using it efficiently, sebaik mungkin. Okay, kenapa efficient? Bukan sehabis mungkin. So bear in mind, we want to preserve the resources in the country so that our future generation can survive. So if we use all, what happened to our anak cucu karang? They will be in trouble because they don't have resource to live on. Okay, so that's why we will try to use sebaik mungkin yang sepatutnya digunakan pada waktu tersebut. Alright, next let's go for the table. So bila dia bercakap pasal PPC, dia akan bagi awak table so that you must construct a PPC. Alright, so first of all, we have two types of goods, television and bread. Okay, the assumption is we produce two products. So why television and bread? This one I took the example from the textbook, maybe the old textbook. I'm not sure the latest textbook ni pakai example apa lah. Okay, and we have production possibilities. If the country decided to use the resources to produce all television, resources dia adalah labor capital entrepreneur, to produce all television, they will get 15 television, and what happened there? Their bread will become 0. Okay, well, for combination B, the country decided to produce 14 TV, and additionally, with the left resources, they can produce 1 bread. And for C, 12 TV with 2 bread. You can see here, if we decided to add more bread from 1 to 2 to 3, the TV will, the amount of TV will go down. This is the concept of opportunity cost. We want to add more of one good, we need to forego of the other goods because the resources are fixed, limited. So kita tak cukup nak buat masing-masing banyak. TV nak banyak, bread pun nak banyak, cannot. You must choose. Itu pun concept of choice. Okay, but the country will not go for the extreme, which is point A and point F. Why? Because at point A, they are only producing television without any bread. Dia macam violating the first assumption that you must produce 2 product. Contoh dia macam ni lah. For example, kalau saya tukar kat sini pada food, ini jadi drink, makanan dan minuman. So dekat point A ni, the country only produce food without any drink. So what happened to the people there? Semua akan tercekik, semua akan mati. Itulah dia tak boleh go for the extreme. Okay, and they cannot go for point F also. Cuma ada break je dalam negara, tak ada langsung television. People live there in order to eat. So it's the extreme. So they won't choose this. Okay, so dia ada banyak pilihan lain. Either to produce at B dengan 14 TV 1 break, ataupun kalau dia rasa macam we would like to have less TV, we would like to have a balanced amount of TV and bread, they should go for point E, TV 5, bread 4. Can see here, right? Okay, so this is a balanced amount of TV and bread. Tapi kalau dia kata we would like to have more TV instead of bread, they might go for option B, producing 14 TV with 1 bread. Okay, so you can see here, you can plot the PPC. So first of all, dia ada 2 axes. Okay, paksi X, paksi Y. Okay, so which good yang akan duduk kat sini, paksi Y, which good yang akan duduk kat paksi X. Okay, you tak boleh main letak je, you need to see the table. Okay, daripada table ni, from A to F, barang apa yang value dia meningkat. So it belongs to bread, right? From 0, increase to 1, increase to 2, increase to 3, and 4, and 5. So this good will be on the X-axis. Okay, dia akan duduk kat sini. Barang-barang yang meningkat akan duduk kat sini. While barang-barang yang menurun, For example, TV daripada 15 turun kepada 14, nilai dia menurun as time goes by, dia akan duduk part C, Y. Okay, so you boleh plot. Point A adalah 15 TV, kosong break. So, antara 16 dengan 14, 15 kat sini, break dia kosong. So, ini adalah point A kat sini. Here is point A. Okay. Next is 14 and 1. Okay, 14 here and 1. So, this is point B. B is here. Right? Next is C, 12 and 2. 12 and 2. So, this is C. And next D, 9 and 3. 9, antara 8 and 10. 9 and 3. So, it's here. And last kali, 5 and 4. 5 in between with 4. So, it's here. So, this is E. And F is the extreme, 5 break with 0 television. Okay, so it's very easy basically to construct a PPC. You need a graph paper. Make sure you buat part C ni dengan CV yang betul. Do you know graph paper yang 20 box yang kecil tu kan? So setiap part C must be 20 box. 20 box untuk setiap. Ini pakai CV 2 supposedly 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So setiap box ni, setiap CV ni 20 kotak kecil. And for this one also dia kena ikut CV. Tak boleh 1, 3, 5 nombor random macam tu kan. So break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Macam kalau dalam table ni 15, 14, 12 kan, you cannot letak this as your part C. You kena ikut CV. So dalam ni dipakai CV 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, or else PPC awak tak akan jadi. So you may practice. You can buy your graph paper. So here it says that if the country will produce 2 products, which is television and bread. If it's allocate all the resources to television, it will produce point A. Maksudnya point A ni semua sekali adalah TV 15, 0 bread. If allocates its resource all to bread, it will produce at point F. Maksudnya dia akan dapat 5 bread and 0 TV. But this will violate the assumption that there should be 2 products to be produced. Sebab tu saya kata the extremis is point A and F. Okay, they violate the assumption. If the country is at point C on the PPC, it can produce a combination of 12 TV and 2 bread. Point D shows the production of 9 TV and 3 bread. So they only mention about this. Right? Next is how to explain the 3 concepts of scarcity, choices, and opportunities cost using the PPC. Okay, so as you can see here, this is scarcity, this is choices, this is opportunity costs. Alright, so the amount of resources the country have is up until the blue line here. Itu adalah maximum amount production negara ni boleh buat dengan resource yang dia ada. So if they go for 15 television, they will get 0 break. So this is the maximum. This is the benchmark. Okay, so if the country would like to produce outside of the curve, so I think this one is not necessary. Outside of the curve, which is point X, ataupun if I move point X ni kat sini ke, sama je. If I move it here ke, the outcome is scarcity. Point X is point outside the PPC. So kalau you can see here, point X kat sini adalah 16 dan 5 break. Ini adalah point yang unattainable. Di luar daripada PPC yang biru ni, it is unattainable, meaning that you cannot reach that because we don't have sufficient resources to produce at that point. Even though the X stay here ataupun stay here, as long as it's outside the blue curve here, itu yang kita panggil konsep of scarcity. Any point outside the curve is scarcity. Scarcity means limited resources to fulfill the unlimited wants of the human. Sebab itulah dia boleh illustrate menggunakan PPC here. Next is choice, pilihan. Okay, so this is our choice. Any point on the PPC is our choice, because this point meaning that efficiency we are producing according to the resources we have, A, B, C, D, E and F. So the country may choose either of this point. Tapi I told you, kalau they choose A and F, they violate the assumption must be two product to be produced. So that's why country won't produce at A and F. So which point they will produce? Either B, C, D or E, depending on the needs of the people. If the people needs more bread, they will go for 4 bread and 5 TV. If the people in the country needs more television, they will produce more television instead of bread. They will go for point B maybe, with 14 TV and 1 bread. It should not be balance lah. Tak boleh nak kata kalau TV 5 bread 5 lah, cannot, because the production of each goods dia ada the usage of factors of production on its own. Okay, lepas tu any point outside is unattainable. Any point on the curve along the PPC is representing choice. So bear in mind, you cannot choose everything. Nak B juga, nak C juga, cannot. You must choose one only. Like I told you, for example, we have only 10 ringgit. We have 3 things to be done with the 10 ringgit. You must choose one only, because you only have 10 ringgit, not 30 ringgit. Same goes here. The country only have that sufficient amount of resources. They can produce only one point, either B, C or D or E. Choose which one. Okay. And last kali, how to illustrate the concept of opportunity cost. When we decided to change the combination. For example, before this we choose combination C with 12 TV and 2 bread. All of a sudden we decided we would like to have less TV. We like to have more bread. So they changed from combination C to D. So what happened here? You can see that from C we have 12 TV. Now when we choose D, the TV becomes 9. So itulah opportunity cost. Kita terpaksa lepaskan. If you want to add more bread from 2 to 3, you must forgone another good there, because we cannot add and add. Kalau you nak tambah yang ni, you kena buang yang ini. So this is the illustration for opportunity cost. So dalam ni adalah tambahan. Any point inside the curve yang warna biru kat dalam ni, okay, Y, for example point Y ni, ataupun kalau saya move point Y ni duduk kat sini ke, as long as it's inside the curve, itu kita panggil attainable but inefficient. Why? Sebab dia waste of resources, pembaziran. Macam saya katalah, Indonesia has lots of labour, ada populasi yang ramai, tapi dia unable to provide job to the people. It is a waste of resources. Kalau dia betul-betul boleh provide job opportunity for the people there, the people will contribute to the development, the betterment of the country. The country will have would have performed much better. Okay, hopefully you can understand how to explain the concept of scarcity, choice and opportunity cost using the PPC. Okay, next is the way to calculate opportunity cost, but this one I will explain in the next teaching video. Okay, so I'll teach you how to answer the past year's question. So we have one question here, essay question of course, because it does not involve calculation yet. But you can answer this. For example, question 14, right? So this is the PPC. So define the PPC. So you know what is the meaning of PPC? PPC means various possible combination of two goods that can be produced using specific that produce with existing resources using at a specific time with a given technology. Okay, so this is definition, and then kita explain what this point indicate. Point A on the curve apa? Point on the curve means choice. Efficiency. You must explain in terms of concept. Jangan sebut efficient lah. Kena cakap choice. Okay, point D. Point D outside the curve, it's scarcity. Point E inside the curve, it's inefficiency because we don't have any more. Kita cuma ada inefficiency sahaja untuk point inside the curve. Attainable but inefficient. Okay, and what is the shape is not yet. Alright, so I'm trying to find a few question kalau kita ada yang dalam bentuk ni. This one is also not relevant. Alright, next is, let's go for the essay question. Okay, this one is not yet. Using a PPC, describe the following concept. Okay, bila dia suruh soalan macam ni, nak tak nak, you must draw. Okay, so what should you do is, you do the drawing. Alright. Cantiknya drawing saya kan? Sekejap, I'll try my best to adjust this thing. Okay. So, state two types of goods. Tak semestinya ikut example saya. For example, motorcycle, table. Two types of goods. Okay. And then dia kata, explain scarcity. So, scarcity is the point outside the curve, right? So, you buat X sikit. Dan tulis di sini, scarcity. So, dia kata explain. So, give definition of scarcity. Apa definition dia? Limited resources coupled with unlimited ones. So any point outside of the curve is considered as scarcity. This is 10 marks, so make sure you answer everything because everything worth 2.5 marks. 2.5 marks, 2.5 marks. Okay, so for the drawing, because they ask you to use this kan. Okay, sorry because dia kata use the PPC, so meaning that we have marks for drawing. Okay, so if you draw correctly and label everything like this, you will have 2 marks for your drawing. Okay, next is scarcity, 2 marks. Give the definition. State where scarcity. Scarcity is any point outside the PPC. The definition, limited resources to fulfill the unlimited ones of the people. Okay, next is efficiency and full employment. Efficient. Kat dalam ni inefficient, kat luar unattainable, inefficient juga. So kat mana efficiency is on the curve. So here. So you tulislah efficiency. Basically efficiency means choice. Okay, so bagi definition dia, definition choice lah. Lepas tu bagi tahu state the location. Any point on the curve, on the PPC curve, is considered efficiency and full employment point. Okay, and last kali you want to explain, no, the third one you want to explain about opportunity cost. So how to explain the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost akan berlaku bila kita change point. For example, from point A we would like to change to point B. So you kena label sikit. Movement, you kena mention kat situ, movement from point A to B is opportunity cost. Lepas tu bagi definition. Opportunity cost is defined as the foregone cost of not choosing the other alternative. Then you can get your 10 marks. Okay, nanti saya akan tunjuk skema dia untuk jawab untuk dapatkan 10 marks. Alright, so this is another question here. Explain the concept of scarcity, choice and opportunity cost using production possibility frontier. Sorry, I haven't teach this one, economic growth, because this one we haven't covered. Dia duduk kat bawah ni. The shifting of the PPC, economic growth here. So, not yet, KIV dahulu. And then, for essay question, okay, so you can see here, every question here adalah soalan yang sama, cuma cara tanya je yang berbeza. So ini keluar tahun 2017, 2018, 2019 macam tu lah. Saya tak ingat dah sebab saya cut bias. Okay, so you tak perlulah jawab sampai 4 kali. Saya nak letak bawah question 6 belaka ni menunjukkan bahawa this question is the same question, and how to answer this question is the same way. Okay, alright. And then kalau yang ni, explain the basic economic concept using relevant examples. For this one, you don't need to draw PPC. You just explain about scarcity. So you boleh relevant example. For example, I have 10 ringgit. Lepas tu, in terms of choice, I need to choose. Choice means apa? Okay. And ini yang dia nak define microeconomics. Explain the three basic economic concept with one example each. So sama juga, cumanya tambahan dia suruh define microeconomics. Alright, so you have that also. Alright, so that's it. I'll show you the okay, so here is it. This one is for the question, dia suruh define PPC. So definition, various possible combination of two goods and services that can be produced within a specific time with a given technology and resources. Okay, sorry, this one is not the answer. Wait, sorry. Sorry, this one. Okay, the three basic economic concept. Alright, here, scarcity. Scarcity is a point outside of the PPC. It is unattainable because scarcity illustrates the concept of limited resources. Scarcity is of resources accompanied with unlimited ones makes the point unattainable. So this is worth 2 marks. So make sure you know how to explain it. You can explain on your own words, of course, tapi make sure you tak lari daripada fakta dia. Okay, and choice. I put a few there. B, C, and D. So I think choice are points along the curve. Because of limited resources, people should choose the best among the alternative uses the resources can provide. I think they have another one below that. Saya silap kat lah ni kot. Okay, and last one is concept of opportunity cost. Movement from C to D represent opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the foregone cost of not choosing the other alternative uses. There are 3 types of opportunity cost yang you akan belajar kemudian. Okay, so basically, this is how you answer the question. Alright, so that's it for the second teaching video. Thank you for listening.